first of all, to the two of you, I'm sorry that the three of us are together like this. Seeing as how a couple weeks ago we were enjoying a great dinner together and enjoying what seemed like a great relationship. So how did we get to this point? How did we get here tonight, Vienna?
Well, I guess it started about a month after we were dating, right? When everything started changing.
Things started changing? What things?
Our relationship. Yeah, the first month we were together was great. Like, he was crazy about me. And then from there, it just kind of went straight downhill. And it wasn't like we were in a relationship. Like, I felt like we were in a relationship when cameras were rolling or we were on red carpets or we were out in public, but like at home, it wasn't like we were in a relationship.
What was it like at home?
Lonely? I would tell him that all the time. I just wanted him to want to be around me and talk to me and kiss me and like a normal relationship.
Okay, so there were problems with the relationship. That's one thing, but your accusations go much further than that. You said mental, emotional abuse, verbally abusive?
I said emotional abuse, yeah.
Anger issues?
He's got a little bit of a temper, but I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say he's dangerous or anything. It's just, it was mostly emotional. I mean, there was no emotion with us. Like, there was just nothing there. Like, I'm in a relationship with somebody who's just emotionally and physically not there with me. Like, I don't think any woman would stay in a relationship with a guy who she has to ask to be kissed. Like, when I have to literally ask to have a kiss, and when he does, it's a kind of kiss.
Okay, and before I bring Jake in, I want to take it a step further. These sound like a relationship that's gone south, a normal relationship that ends every day around the world. But you took it a step further. Why did you take it to the tabloids? Why did you tell the stories in great detail so publicly?
Well, either way, our relationship has been public. No matter how we broke up, this was going to have to happen. The world was going to want to know what happened, and we were going to be doing interviews. And I know Jake, and I know as soon as we broke up, he was going to run to a media outlet and tell his side of the story. So
in a
I
sense,
wanted
you
to
were
make
just...
sure I had a voice also. You know, I haven't had a voice this entire time. And I've let everybody say what they wanted to say about me and their thoughts about me, and I wasn't going to let it happen again. I wanted people to know that I did try in this relationship, and I stayed with him because I thought it would be different. And I loved him, and I wanted it to be different. And it never did. It kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and I couldn't do it anymore. And I knew that I had to leave when he wasn't there, otherwise I would have just stayed, because he would have convinced me things would have, you know, stayed the same. Things would have changed, sorry. We broke it up 3 times.
I'm so mad at you. I'm so disgusted with you.
Disgusted with me?
You
I'm disgusted that you...
You sold me out to a magazine for payment and then flirted with me all weekend.
Flirted with you all weekend?
And then I find out from my
weekend.
publicist, that's all right, I've got text messages.
You flirted with me
yes.
all weekend?
Oh yes, baby, I've got text messages.
Right.
Hey baby, come to the charity. You had already done this.
Yeah, because you were lying to me and trying to bluff out because you thought I was lying about where I was. So I said, yeah, come to the event. Show up at the hospital.
We'll get to your lying issues in a minute.
Oh, my lying issues, right. You are a fame whore is what you are. And that was the entire reason that this entire thing happened. That's it.
Was it that...
Because my impression was that you were a pilot, and we were going to go back to Florida and Dallas and live a normal life, but all of a sudden, we're in LA and you're pursuing a career in acting.
At least I was pursuing a career in something.
Sorry, actually, I do have a job now, a marketing job.
I'm a pilot.
You haven't flown in over a year.
As a matter of fact, I flew this last weekend.
Right. He's never once tried to get to know my family. When we went back to Florida, he maybe said 2 words to them. He was on his phone the entire time he was there. My dog was sick, and when she was in the hospital with IVs in her. And what's the first thing you said? Do you remember? Or should I quote you? I'm so sorry, your dog's so spoiled, she can only maintain 1 relationship at a time, is what he said to me. While my dog's in the hospital with IVs. Is that what you said?
Nope.
You're a liar, is what you are.
What about her parents? Is that true?
Absolutely not true.
Right. How many times have you called my dad?
Well, I'm glad I called him and wished him a happy Father's Day.
You called him on Father's Day to find out why I haven't talked to you over the weekend. Because both the times we talked, you were yelling at me.
Well, you're busy having flings with other men.
I'm not having flings with other men. You're trying to say what? You broke.
Evidently.
Okay, you have two stories. The first story was that you broke up with me on Saturday because I was cheating on you with Greg. First of all, didn't even meet Greg till 9 o'clock at night at the charity event at a hospital. The only thing you have is me dancing 9 seconds in a group of people, and I'm not even with him.
Why are you raising your voice?
Because you are the biggest fake liar I've ever met my entire life.
So wait, Vienna, there was no infidelity, no cheating.
Not at all. There's nothing. I don't even hardly know that guy. I went to a charity event,
Seems
met
to
him
know
with
you.
a group of people, and the next day he invited everybody out. I went with my girlfriend, and he was there with 3 other girls. That was it. That's the entire story.
And who's the guy that you had on Saturday night at the apartment? You had a single guy there? I know you did.
I had a gay guy named Todd who owns who dropped by my apartment so I could pick up a dress to go to the charity event. And he talked to you. He said, why is he jealous? I'm gay. I'm gay. That's what he said. You talked to him on the phone. You're going by a video of me not even touching a guy and then a picture taken at an event, and that's what you're saying I cheated?
I don't know what you did.
Right.
I know, you're agreeing with me. I don't know what you did.
I'm not agreeing with anything you say. You are a liar.
Okay, well, I mean,
Can we get a
I
polygraph test? Do we have one of those?
I
Because
hear
you
what
would
you're
fail
saying.
it.
Okay, well. You know, and I'm a fame whore. I didn't sell this story. You did.
No, you went to magazine.
Yeah.
You gave them your story.
I had to.
You were gonna do it either way, Jake. I'm not an idiot. You moved me out to LA. I have no money. I have no car. I have nothing out here.
I said whatever's going to make you happy. We can
I've
leave
asked,
LA.
how many
we can.
times have I asked to go back home to Florida?
I have offered several times.
No, you have not.
I'm not doing a he said she said thing.
No, I'm not, because he's sitting here
All right,
lying.
guys,
and I'm not
one
gonna do an
second.
interview
I
if
hate to
he's
break
gonna sit
this
here
up.
and
I
lie.
want to continue this conversation. Vienna, before we left, I was going to ask you, you got paid for the interview. Someone, one of the reports, you got paid 90 grand.
That's not
which,
true.
Okay, they paid you a good chunk of change, which, whatever, I'm not going to judge you on that. What I was wondering is, why take it so far as to tell such intimate, detailed stories?
Because it wasn't about the money. It was, I wanted people to know the real reason that this did not work. Really what went on.
Because I was looking at you, I was watching you on, and I see you on these, and that's the only thing I was wondering is why put yourself through that? Why go?
Because I knew he would do it if I didn't. I knew, the real reasons that the real problems in our relationship is what I was telling. Okay, I wasn't bashing Jake's character or accusing him of anything. I was just laying it out. This is what's been going wrong in our relationship. This is what's been happening. What he does is he runs out and goes, oh no, she was cheating, and then she was this, and that was this, and this, which isn't at all. We've never, ever had cheating or trust issues, ever. That's never been an issue in our relationship. So for you to go and say that that's what the issues were, it's not true.
Let me ask you guys this. I was there in St. Lucia when you were in love, and it was beautiful. I don't know if you guys can think back to that.
It was.
At this moment. But Jake, what did you love about Vienna that day when you got down on one knee?
She was, at that point, supportive and loving and very trustworthy and witty and quick, and she challenged me, and she was interesting and entertaining. I mean, there were so many things.
And Vienna, what did you love about Jake that day?
He was genuine at that time. He was compassionate. He was fun to be around. When I was around him, I enjoyed being around him. He smiled, he hugged me, he wanted to be with me. We talked and we opened up together. And after the show was over, that just went away. He wasn't compassionate anymore. He didn't care. He didn't try.
Why didn't you get together, both of you? Because obviously this was going to hell in a handbasket in a hurry. So why not get together and say, amicably, let's go our separate ways?
That's my question right
We've
there, Chris.
broken up twice. I've given you the ring back twice, Jake, and you promised me both times that it was gonna change. You were gonna try harder, you were gonna try to kiss me more, you were gonna just act like you wanted to be with me, and nothing ever changed for like maybe 3 days.
What did you promise me?
Is that true? Hold on, back up. Is that true? Did you guys broke up twice, or she tried to break up twice and gave you the ring?
She would throw little temper tantrums and take the ring
we
off.
broke up twice. I've taken that ring off twice.
And
And it was a breakup. And I was leaving.
Just let me know when you're done, then I'm gonna start.
Okay, Jake, your side.
Okay. She would test me. She would take the ring off and go sit and sulk in the bathroom, waiting for me to go in there and chase her. It was a game. It was a.
It was not a game. I wanted to leave.
You were free to leave.
Really? What was it? What did you say to me when I tried to leave? I'm sitting in LA with nothing. I haven't been able to work because for Dancing with the Stars, we didn't know where he would be each week. How do you find a job in LA when we're not even supposed to stay in LA?
Right.
Okay, the show just got over. Okay, we just moved into another apartment. I haven't had a chance to get a job because I didn't even know we'd be living in LA.
But let me ask
So
you
I have
this:
nothing.
was Dancing with the Stars a bad thing? I mean, like, you didn't enjoy the time of being there.
I supported him because he wanted to do it. But he never, like the entire time he was on Dancing with the Stars, he never acknowledged me. Like he'd come home, he'd go his Twitter. We were never together, ever. Throughout the whole thing, we were never together.
Because I know, like, say at the end, when you got to dance, you were excited about that, right?
I was excited to get to spend the time with him.
She was excited because it put her on TV.
Oh, whatever, Jake. That's the only thing you care about. I don't want this life. I don't want to be on the cameras all the time like him.
Okay, so let me ask you this, just to further what you're saying. As soon as this interview's over, you guys have seen each other, we've said our piece, will you disappear now? Will you go back and try and live your life?
I'm getting a job. I've already got a job, actually, a real job, and I'm doing marketing for a company.
Will that keep you here in Los Angeles?
Yes, it's in Los Angeles. I'm going to be
Big surprise.
working with a charity that helps cancer patients, and it's a hair product to help the kids.
No, but why stay here in LA when this is...
She hates LA,
I
Chris.
do
the
hate
problem?
LA. I do hate LA. But I got a job. I went on an interview. They loved me, and I'm going to take... If it's a job, it's a job. I need a job, period.
But why not go back home? Why not get away from this, if that's the root of all evil?
Because I can be here and not be involved with that.
Okay.
If I go back home, honestly, the reason I don't want to go back home is because when I left home, everybody in my small town turned their backs and just, I don't want to go back to that environment. But I don't want to stay Hollywood in the lights. I went on an interview. He told me to get a job, get a job, get a job. I went, I got a job.
So then what is life after this interview for you guys? Will this crap continue of the he said, she said, and all the tabloids and giving interviews and talking about each other behind each other's back and telling,
I'm not talking behind her back, Chris. I did not ring this bell, but I'm forced to deal with it because it has been rung.
I just feel like you have been lying about how this went down, okay? I had my bags packed, I was leaving, okay?
But why?
Boxes out, and I broke up with you on Monday. I called you and broke up with you over the phone. I told you I couldn't do this anymore. I left you a letter. So explaining everything. So then I go and see that you were telling everybody that I cheated on you, and that's why you broke up with me. That's not the case.
I didn't tell everybody you cheated on me.
Did you tell people you broke up with me?
No, the boy you were hanging out with told everybody you were cheating.
No, he didn't. I read his quotes.
I didn't tell anybody that, and he went on the record.
Okay.
As a matter of fact.
Did you or did you not say you broke up with me?
I did break up with you, Vienna.
Okay, I broke up with you, Jake.
I'm not having the argument. Anyway.
It's not. You
Chris,
were such a liar.
Let me just
Oh my
just
gosh.
clarify what's going
By
on
the
here
way,
before
there was
I
a
get
witness
interrupted
sitting
again.
there next to me when I broke up with you over the phone
that?
because I knew. I'm not going to give their name out, but I knew that he was going to do
Okay,
this. I knew
the
this
thing
whole
about it
thing
is-
was going to happen.
The thing about
And he's
it is,
going to drag it out as long as he can, stay in the spotlight.
the thing about it is,
Go ahead.
you did an unauthorized interview and got paid.
No, what
and
I'm asking you is
Baby?
how did we break up? Don't call me baby.
Be quiet while I'm talking.
And this is how he treats me all the time. Why, in any kind of relationship, especially in a new relationship, we've only been together for 6 months. How can you get sick of somebody in 6 months? How do you get sick of somebody in that short amount of time?
May I answer that?
Especially in the
hold on.
first month. Okay, you stopped being intimate and kissing me and everything the second month we were together. You stopped. Like, how does everything go away in
Okay,
1
so
month?
let him
answer
answer that.
I can
Give
answer
him
that.
some time.
Yeah, just give me a minute here to answer. What guy in America would ever want to be intimate with a woman that undermines him?
Please tell me what undermines means.
Yeah,
Why-
be specific.
Can I?
Yeah, I just want to know what
Let him
undermine
finish though,
means.
but be specific
yeah,
so we
that
know.
undermines, you know, emasculates, and doesn't respect.
I would like examples. Because you always say that I undermine you every day. It's I undermine you because I turned the GPS on. I undermined you because I said
You're doing
we
it
should
right
move
now.
the bed.
You're
This is not
interrupting.
undermining.
Let
You're
him
interrupting.
give us examples. Go ahead.
The interruption is a constant thing that I'm dealing with. Everything that I do is wrong. You know,
I
little
said I
things
was under
like
the
the
impression it's
GPS, you know, she will ask me, you know, I don't know where I am. We're driving down the road. I'm like, babe, the building you're looking for is 1 mile this way. Turn right on that road. It's right there on the left. She reaches back, grabs the GPS and puts it in there. I'm like, well, what did you ask for?
And then his anger, he'll take it and throw the thing behind the car.
Did you?
At that point, I was trying to prove a point because
Trying to prove a point. That's what you
again,
call
more
it.
interruption. See, the problem with this relationship, Chris, is it's
Is that you need
me,
a woman who has no say,
and
sits
again,
there,
interruption.
smiles, and doesn't do anything. That's what you need. You need a perfect girl that sits just like this and does everything you want her to do and says absolutely nothing. That's what you need.
No, I need a
we
girl
put
that-
furniture in our bedroom, and he said he couldn't open the drawers because they hit the bed. So I walked in there and I was like, well, how about we try to turn the bed this way and just put the dresser there? Don't undermine me, is what he tells me. No, I was brainstorming. I was giving a suggestion. In a relationship, you give suggestions is what you do. You compromise, you talk about things, you make decisions together. You don't decide to stay out here when you're engaged to somebody, and that's not the plan at all.
The problem with that, Chris, is she's like a tabloid. You're getting about 40% of the truth.
And with you, you get none.
And another interruption.
Okay.
Stop doing that to me.
The
Okay,
thing
hold
with
on,
the
hold on.
room,
Let's-
let me
let's-
just
okay, go
answer
ahead.
this real quick. Let me just get this out. We were moving furniture. I measured the best way to put that furniture in there, and I told her, I said, this is the only way it's gonna work. I've already had a tape measure in here. She goes and gets the tape measure and remeasures my work.
I never even picked up a tape measure. I never picked up a tape measure. I don't
This
know
is what
a tape measure-
undermining is, and it's everything in our relationship. There's no respect for me. It's
Okay, let me ask you a couple questions. How did you get to...
I thought it was because you wanted to wait till marriage, or because you were fasting. Which I just want to know which excuse it is. Because you've given me
You know
5.
what? To me, there's more in a relationship than sex and intimacy. Those are just two,
How about
two
talking
little
or getting to know someone's family? Those are part of a relationship.
Well, okay,
correct?
so what's the main reason you felt like
It
this
was
fell
all
apart?
of them because he never tried on anything. He never talked to me. He never tried to get to know me. He never tried to get to know my family. He was always like mean to me and treated me like I was a child. You know, he brought me to LA and stuck me in an apartment. I mean,
Chris, I just want to say something right here.
Mm-hmm.
She's asking why there's not intimacy in our relationship. This is it. She breaks me down. She undermines me. She's mean. She's always right. I never do anything right. I mean, and this is it right here.
Vienna, do you think Jake will ever find love and find a woman
I don't deal with that.
that he will
Absolutely
be?
not. Unless there's a woman out there who literally has no respect for herself and just wants a man to control her, that's what he needs.
I'm sure, Chris, that I don't want a selfish woman.
Selfish? I wouldn't have moved out here to LA with nothing, left my family and everything, my dog, everything. I left everything to support you.
You're right, you had nothing. Your dog never came out here. I never flew your dog half across the country several times on my dollar.
Okay,
every time
I
crossing
flew
the
Chloe
country,
out here once, and then you made me bring her back.
Let me ask you guys
because
this.
you wouldn't clean up after
I-
you're not potty trained.
I was potty training her.
Okay, we don't really care about the dog. We go from this beautiful couple to this, and to the tabloids, and both of you going back and forth. So how do we move forward, and we meaning you two, how do you move forward tomorrow? Where does this go? Is it just gonna escalate until...
I'm done talking about it. I said my side of the story. I gave the truth. And until he admits the truth, I mean, I think that he's just going to keep going back and forth.
So you're done talking. Is there any part of you...
That's a first.
Okay, hold on. Is there any part of you that wants to apologize for anything to Jake?
I am sorry that I went about it the way I did, but I know you, the real you, and I knew you would do it if I didn't.
You don't know me, and I wouldn't have done it. And if you
If I don't know you, then why are
please
we-
stop interrupting me. The thing is, I would have never done this to somebody that I love. When I got down on one knee again, I got interrupted. Good Lord.
I'm done with this. You are the meanest person I've ever met in my life. I'm over it.
When we're trying to work things out, this is what happens.
I'm done. We got this. He's the biggest liar I've ever met in my life. I want to go home. I want to go home, get this off me. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.